Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode here on our single player world. Today, I've done a lot of stuff and it kind of went to waste. But that's alright, because we can keep going. It's not a big problem. So, first of all, what I want to do, before we look at that big tower of toweriness going on there. In between this episode and the last episode, I was really concerned about it not looking very good. I wasn't very happy with it. It was something that was bugging me, just like this nether portal is right now. And that's what it deserves, alright? So, yeah, it's been bugging me that it wasn't really looking like what I wanted it to. It didn't feel as detailed as I felt like it should have felt. And I decided between last episode and this episode to go ahead and add in a bunch of just tiny details, which I think have improved this significantly. Now, in the last episode, you may have noticed in the thumbnail, because I was a bit sneaky and I decided, you know what, I'll give you guys a preview of what I wanted to do, because pretty much as I put that video up, I was like, oh, you know what, I'll come back in here, I'll fix some stuff up, and I thought that would be a much more accurate representation of what we should have left it off at the end of the last episode. What I did was, obviously, I've been experimenting a little bit with these, and I really like these mossy cobblestone walls in there, and I decided I would just have this little gap in here. You see how, where the water's coming out, I wanted a gap, and I thought pushing it back one block where it originally was just didn't look very good, and I thought that could be a very good improvement to that. Okay, yeah, the next thing was that, I decided it would be good to maybe get rid of this side stream that was coming out here, which, it just made it look way too blue. It took away from anything we could have done under there, and remember what I said? I wanted this thing to look very stony and very strong, like, solid from the bottom, you know what I mean? I want this whole thing to be a very stony build, and I feel like adding in the water was obviously necessary for this bit, but for the rest of the build, it was taking up way too much space in terms of what we could see, and that's why I decided it would be a good idea to maybe change it up a little bit. Also, a few other little things that I have done were adding in this raised ground here, which you might not have noticed, but I've raised this ground up again, and we'll probably do a bit more, like, details on it, but it was too low, and I think it looks a little bit better now. Also, there's something else. I'm pretty sure there's something else that I was forgetting to show you guys. Oh yeah, this giant thing. What I'm doing there. And this is actually because I was a bit silly. Let me tell you this. Remember last episode how we had a few little glitchy bits of audio which were really, really annoying. Now, hopefully right now we're not getting them. I wouldn't know at the present time, but if not, it's either not very bad or it's not even existing at all. So I decided to make sure that was working, and I kind of messed up on my side without putting it back on. So we weren't getting audio from me speaking. So we missed out the beginning bit of this where I started building this little piece up here. Now, what this piece is, let me try and get a bit of an angle for you here. This wall over here is going to be the main structure, and I want this wall over here to be curving out on each of these diagonal corners, just to look like it's offering a large amount of support to this building, as if it's there to hold in the water that lies in the building, which I think will look really, really cool when it's done. And what I'm doing right now is I'm just shaping it out. I'm just trying to get that overall curve that I want. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. But yeah, now, in between, I've got my headphones turned really, really loud, so that sounded really, really noisy. But yeah, in between these episodes, that's pretty much what I've been doing. If you don't include the last, like, 20, 30 minutes of me building that piece and trying to get that fixed up. But yeah, my strategy to this is that I want to end up, let me just go back a bit. I want to end up with this thing curving out nicely, and I feel like this over here is starting to get that shape. It might need a little bit of work in there. We'll see how that comes out when we start adding stairs and stuff in there. Also, I'm probably going to end up doing something over here to kind of mask it a little bit. But overall, this is going to be a bit of a pain because now I've got to copy this shape over in the four corners. Also got to do the top piece, but we probably won't do that straight away. But yeah, this is the thing with building big things like this and building them symmetrically. You have to kind of go and do a little bit, and then keep going again and do a little bit more. But what I think the way I might actually do this is I might tackle it like this, where I do a whole slab of this. So I can go like I can do like 4 of these blocks here, 4 again, and 2, and memorize it like that, I guess. Let me try that out. So if I did there, it's kind of weird not having the sound, but that's alright. There, and these ones, and 2 there. Is that right? In fact, let's put the sound back on. It's kind of just something a little bit freaky about not having it on. Put it down there. Yeah, that's right. So that's pretty much the way it goes, and then we'll obviously just pull these out as we go. We'll use the andesite bricks as something to hide this, so we can do something like that. There. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. We can get rid of that one. We can also get rid of that one. And that's pretty much what we're going to do now, I guess. I guess I'll just keep going on with this. Getting these things built in their slabs like I originally wanted to. I think that'll work. I get the feeling that'll be a good idea to do. But yeah, guys, I'll be back once I've got something a little bit more to show you. Alright, guys, so I've gone ahead and I've added these walls into pretty much every single side that they need to be on. Not pretty much, it is every single side. It's taken me quite a bit of time, and I don't really feel like it's got that kind of look that I was looking for, sadly. However, I want to try and see how much we can do with them to try and get them to work for us, you know what I mean? Obviously, I've just put in very plain blocks just so I have like 2 different things to look at, but I'm not too sure whether I like these blocks together. Now, my thought is, because I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I have gone ahead and completed it, I'll give it a little bit more of a chance. But what I want to try and do is I want to try and see, do I have enough? I might have enough. Spruce, if we can put spruce in over here and fill it in as if this is a giant spruce tank being held up here, I think that could look really, really cool. But that will obviously be, oh man, the sun's going away. I might just wait for the sun to go down before we go up there. But I think what that will do is that will maybe add in quite a bit of good contrast, despite the fact that I did want to have I wanted it to be very wooden, very stony, like stony. I think we still will get that feeling. But I think it will also have to, if it has that extra bit of wood, it might even work a little bit better. Maybe. I don't know. Let's quickly, oh man. We'll just wait down here. Anyways, but yes, that was pretty much what I was thinking with that area. Now, with, just this is something that's kind of weird, in terms of the channel, while we wait, we may as well speak about this. In terms of comments and stuff, if I recently, let me give you a little bit of background while we do this, and I may as well do it while I'm busy going up here. This is something that I've been thinking about recently, and it's just kind of sort of bugging me a little bit. With YouTube, there's that little, you know, up next to, well, up at the top right-hand corner of your YouTube page, right? Like what you're watching whenever. There's your logo, for instance, that's got my channel logo, which is my face, my character face on it. But it's got that on it. On your YouTube page, you know what I mean? But next to that, you've got the little notifications button, which used to be quite useful to me. And recently, YouTube has made some changes, and I'm not too sure what has happened. But in general, with that notification button, I'm not getting notified when, for instance, I get a comment, or when I need to reply to a comment, or anything like that. So if you guys send me anything on YouTube, and it doesn't go through, like, well, you don't receive a response, like, obviously, immediately, I'm not sitting behind my computer all the time. I won't be able to do that. But in general, if, for instance, you don't receive a response when you think it should have, perhaps, and that's, this is probably, I should be a bit more cautious in saying this. It's more along the lines of, with a newer video. Think of it, if you're going to mention a comment on one of my older videos, it probably won't get answered. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be checking through, what is it now, 300 odd videos through all their comments, but with those sorts of things, they're not going to come through as easily. And as I say, it is quite an annoying thing that has happened, that YouTube's notifications have gone a bit weird. But what I could suggest, and this is something that I think will help, is instead of commenting, obviously comment, and if I don't get back to you, I would suggest trying to get a hold of me on Twitter, if it's something that you wanted to ask me. Now, obviously, there's a link in the description if you guys are interested. But I just, and also another one, if you guys know what the solution to this problem is, I would also highly appreciate that. But it's very, very weird that happens. I'm not too sure why exactly it is happening, that I'm not getting the notifications of it. But it just happened probably a few weeks ago now, and it's, as I say, quite weird. I've just realized I've messed this up. We're going to have to go back down here and get this stuff all cleared out here. We had to do a single line up there, which is alright. Let's check it out. At least we didn't get too far ahead. I think this could actually work. Let's just do this one finished. Is that alright? That won't be enough. We can finish it off completely. And there. Now, let's just have a look at that. Obviously, we will have to do a bunch more of that, of shaping on that, that's for sure. I mean, that's like flat as hell. Do I like it though? I think I do. I actually just like, oh, get back here. I think I do like that. I want to try something out now quickly before I do any of that shaping stuff. We might actually, it might have something good, nice and simple here. And I'll just test this out. I'm really just testing out colors and stuff now more than the actual design. And this is perhaps doing something like this. In fact, I could have done that without putting that block there. Doing something like this to block these off, like to stop the blockiness of this. Maybe this will work because these are the same color as the planks themselves. And I think it might just almost hide in there, I'm hoping. Like hide within this texture here. Because even if you have a look there, you can see they 100% the same thing. Get one out there. We'll get rid of that if it's good. Let's check this out. That does kind of actually... Man, let me get out of here. It does look quite interesting, though. Having these little bits in here. I don't know. I think I like the idea of doing this flat here again. Like, all of this flat in here. And then we maybe just keep it as a flat thing. So, in other words, I'll bring that one out one block. I'm pretty sure that's what we'll do. I don't mind that, actually. Now, as for these pieces here, which obviously I've got that sorted now, I can sort of think about this. I was thinking of doing something along the lines of... Do we have any? We got some of these. And let's just check if I've got any... No. Good. Alright, I think this might actually work anyway. We will just test this out. I think what we can do is perhaps smooth this out a little bit with some of these in here, in these sorts of places. And I'm not too sure how it'll go, obviously. But I think it will be worth a try. Just doing things like that. Maybe not all the way down there, maybe just a little bit down. And let's check that out. Because pretty much I want this to be quite detailed. But I don't know how much we'll be able to fit in there. That'll work if it's cobblestone. So, I've got the option of doing cobblestone now. I'm not too sure, actually, what I want to do there. Yeah, I'll have to think about this, guys. So, these side pieces, ignore them. They might be gone. I'll do the middle piece now, and we'll be back. Alright, guys, so we didn't have much luck with that. It just wasn't working, and I've decided I'll tear it down, but there's some good news. I've come up with something better. I think this is looking much, much better. Look at that. I've done a little bit of work. Oh, I've actually just realized I've got an extra block in here. But yeah, I've done a little bit of work on this, and I think it is a vast improvement for a start. It's just, you know, remember I was telling you I want that detail, and I think having this new strategy to it, instead of building the whole thing then detailing that, building from the bottom, adding detail as we go might be a bit better for this one. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add in stuff like this. I think that looks really, really cool myself. And I'm just going to keep going up. So these four main pillars on these corners are going to be holding it up. And you can actually see my plan over here. I want to have a very, very basic texture. And it's probably going to be the stone, just like that. Plain stone in the middle there, going up. I think that will look really, really cool. Now, the strategy for this, as I say, is to keep adding detail as we go up. However, I'm not too sure what we're going to do. If we're going to carry on with a repeating pattern, or if we're going to change it up along the way, and kind of make like a pattern that changes along the way. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. I'm still in two minds with that. How's this going? Is this it's one like this, isn't it? So we'll do that. And I'm pretty sure I actually made a change in here where that one goes away. And that one goes away. And by the way, have a look at my pickaxe. I'm almost like, I very rarely get it down this low. Even my axe. I've gone through so much of I've seriously been here for quite some time trying to get this right. So I'm kind of glad that we've finally made a bit of a breakthrough on this project. Yeah, that's right. That's how I did them. Perfect. Alright, so my plan is probably to keep going up with these like that. We'll probably go up a few more. How many is that? 3. And we'll go up there, there. And why is this one not equal to that one? There we go. Good. Alright. So I'm thinking we'll probably end up doing stuff along these lines here. Just very simple things. Probably on the lower one, just so it doesn't have spawns on it. Just simple stuff like this, where we go around the corners like that, and that, and that. And then we'll have a look at how it looks. Yeah, so we'll have to put in those ones there then, I guess. I need some ender pearls. I might head off to the end and grab some of those. That'll make our life a bit easier. But what I'm going to do now is I'll just test that out, make sure we got it good. And then also, I'm not 100% sure we're going to be going as high as we planned originally to go on this build. I know I planned on doing a fair bit of a distance, but I don't know. Oh, I could have made that with that one. I don't know if we will actually do that. So what do I want? I wanted these to go. And then these to come in the place. There we go. And same here. Now let's see this. And then I also think, in terms of adding in a bit of detail to the middle piece, because this was looking pretty bland, what we can do... Really? What we can do is add in some of these to start. And then we can maybe... Yeah, actually... That's a bit too flat for me there as well. Do I have a plan? I think I do. I think I got another plan. Let's pillar up for this one. So we'll try this out. Do I have stuff on me? I do. I've got exactly the amount for one side of this. I'm sure you guys can probably predict what I'm about to do. What? So we'll do something like that. Thank goodness I had those. We'll take these out. Put them over here and over there. And then in here we can maybe just put in another block. For instance, one of those. Get out of there. Man, these ghost blocks are really annoying. We'll just quickly get rid of it. There we go. Done. Alright, now we can take a look. Yeah, I think just adding in that little bit of detail is going to help. Just to break it up a bit. And then I want to also try out this other piece that I had, this other idea that I had, which could also include some of these, if we wanted to. But I don't... It's not my top priority. I'm going to pillar up with these instead, just so we don't get ghost blocks again. Invisible blocks, not ghost blocks, sorry. We'll do that there, and down these corners as well. Oh well, there we go. And now we have a look. I think this might just curve it out a little bit, and I'm not too sure, because I don't really use these as much as I would like to. These are cobblestone walls. Yeah, I like that. I think that could work. It looks very kind of messy and stuff, which kind of looks good inside there. I think I might continue this pattern up a bit. What is that, 3 blocks? Yeah, that's a good pattern. We'll just keep it going up and see how this looks. And I'll probably do it to this one before we go to the others. Oh man, look at that, guys. I'm loving it. That's actually come out way better than I was expecting. Just let's just take a step back and make sure it looks good from a distance. Yeah, that is really, really cool. That actually didn't take me very long. I'm very happy with the way this is turning out. I just need to make sure, because remember, we don't only have one position we stand in the city. There's many, many places we'll see this from. And can we see it from here? Yes. That will be huge. That'll be awesome. Let's go all the way out there and see how it looks from a distance as well. Because, as I say, it's very important. We have to have a look at these sorts of things which are things you might not necessarily consider first of all, but they are quite important. Oh man, we almost made that one. Almost made it. Let's have a look from here. Yeah, currently it's just sticking out there. We'll probably go up another 2 more floors, and then we'll start doing like a giant water tank at the top there. That's going to look really, really awesome. I'm actually amazed at how quickly this went to build. For this piece here that has got 10 times more detail than any of the other pieces that we've built. I also feel like there could be a few improvements to do on this pillar, and one of the things I was thinking about when I was up there would be perhaps, you know how we've got the cobblestone on the sides? Perhaps we could put another block in there, which is something I could do at a later stage even, because that would be very simple. We get to the top, dig down, pillar up, dig down, pillar up, and we can test that out. So I'm very happy to leave that for now and then do something. But what I want to do before we carry on is I want to go and put in another one of these over there, another one over there, and then I want to do these middle pieces here because I think that will make it look really, really, pretty much, it'll actually look somewhat done, weirdly enough. But I'm still got a lot more stuff planned for this. I'm really just loving the way this tower's turning out. Remember how I said, I feel like this will be a good tower. I really do. I feel like this will be a very, very good thing to add to the base. So what I might do now is I might just go and do this little bit here up to that level. How many repetitions of that is it? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 of them up. That's not very, very tall. I want to see actually how tall that is in terms of height-wise. Ah, man. We can get this. Trust me, we can get this. I've done this before. Alright, so... not like that, okay? You know what? We're just doing this way. We'll take the ladder. But yeah, I want to see how tall that is in terms of blocks. And when we low, what are we at? 70? Okay, we can work our way back up there. So we can see how many blocks off the ground. So it's we're about 70 on the ground level there. And then from here, I'm going to guess probably, what, 30-something, 40-something up? What is that? 101. So yeah, about 30 up. That's about, yeah, that's a bit higher than that one. I think this could be a good height. Maybe we'll do the other pillars and then we'll see the height. But yeah, I think we could have a good height. Another thing which I might do in the future with this, being like not so distant future, is maybe do something a little bit different in the middle here, depending on how it turns out. If not, what we might do is we might do like a middle piece in there for support. But we'll have to see how that goes. Alrighty guys, what do you think it's going to look like? Because it looks like that. I think it's looking pretty damn good. I know this is very plain in the middle, that we will be fixing up probably next episode. But have a look at that. I think that has come miles. It's come a very, very long way compared to what it was at the beginning of this. And I'm very happy. In fact, at the beginning of this episode, in the piece that I missed, I kind of described something in my head which looked very similar to this. Probably not as detailed, in fact. And I'm very, very happy that I tore everything down and got this. It looks so much better. So much better, I think. Tell me what you think, but I think it looks better. Now, the next stage, I want to go out again, and we can have a look at what we think our next stage should be. Should we go a bit higher? Should we build the kind of bulb at the top, I guess it's going to be? I'm not too sure. Let's just go out that way. Come on. Man, you guys keep telling me to get fireworks. I've got fireworks. I just don't have the farm to get creepers. I know I could do like some mob farm or anything, but really my concern is with building. So right now, building is my top priority, I guess. But a farm will probably come in the future. It's not really something that I'm very concerned with. I'm happy to use a bow for now. As I say, it's free. It's cheap. I can just go back. I don't have to make anything. I just go to my experience farm, sit there for a little bit, get my bow back, and it all works. But I understand if you guys have got a new one, you won't have a bow with mending and infinity on it, which makes it a bit harder, but that's alright. There, that looks good. We could probably go, I think, one more up, and then we start... In fact, maybe the next row could start pitching out a bit, so we have this giant water tower there. Yeah, I think the next one we start pitching it out, and then we start pulling it up again. And I'm actually not too sure what the top was going to look like. I've just kind of thought a roof, but I don't know. We'll see how this all turns out. But for today, guys, I think that will do it for this episode. Let me know what you think about this, because I think very highly of it. And if you guys think I should change something, I'd love to hear what you guys what your opinions are and what you think should happen. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.